and you get a cross breeze that takes the hot air out. And that's the answer as to why they put a door here. No one ever goes through this door. The other aspect of this door is, now this may seem like a little matter, but it's not. There is a thumb latch here that has basically never been used. When you find thumb latches in old buildings that have a door that requires a thumb latch, so many people have put their thumb on that it bends it. It's bent down. And if you go into an antique store, you will look forever to find one that's not bent. This thumb latch is not bent. It's as original as it was on the day they put it in here. The other thing I want to share with you is that we have one piece of the original shingle. The original shingles on the roof were pine shingles, and they did fairly well for probably 50 to 100 years. But in the course of time, all shingles wear out. This is the only original piece left. And you can see the holes where the nails went. The nails, by the way, were made by getting a very long piece of steel, and it's square, and then cutting off where you want the length of that nail to be. And so the nails were square. They, in the course of time, took the, oh, by the way, here is a square nail. That is a square nail. You could see that. And that is one of the original nails. And of course, the whole nail is square, and the top is square, okay? And they took the shingles off. They were cedar shingles. And then they put the slate roof on. Now, the slate is very good, very strong, lasts a long time. The problem with slate, however, not everybody knows how to do it, and it's no longer done. This probably lasted for about 100 years, and then it began to leak. And here's the hole. Putting a hole in slate is tricky business. You don't want to split the slate. And like I said, there are people who know how to do this. And so if you're going to replace a slate window, a roof with a slate roof, you've got to spend some money and get people who know what they're doing. So somewhere in the 1960s, the roof began to leak. We didn't know what to do about it, and so we decided we took all the slate off, and then we put a modern roof on it. And that modern tar paper roof has been replaced about 2 times, but it doesn't leak, so that's a good thing. Okay, now we're going to go into here. In some ways, this is the most interesting room because the original construction, the original architecture is revealed by going into this room. So let me go in here. Okay. Now, the first thing that you might want to notice is that there are pulleys there, and they are the pulleys that when you pull the ropes down on the first floor, it will raise the panels. They will come up. And that's what those pulleys are for. And they've been doing that now since about the 1920s when they put the panels in. Okay. Okay. In order to build this building, they had to build the walls first. And the arrangement of bricks on the 2 sides of the building are what is known as English bond, and they are built for strength. And the arrangement of bricks on the front of the meeting house is Flemish bond, and it's arranged for looks, And so it is quite apparent, undisputable, that the front of the meeting house originally, when it was first built, faced Broad Street, and the two walls on the side were built for strength to hold on this roof. Okay. Now, the question is, how do you get a piece of wood that is 25 inches deep, that is about 15 inches wide, and 52 feet long? That tells you something about the kind of trees that were growing around here when this meeting house was built in 1715. You can see from the size of these pieces of wood the kind of lumber we're talking about, and you can see the kind of weight we're talking about. I have no idea how much this would weigh, but it had to be tremendous, and this was all done without modern machinery. Now, I've had timber frame constructionist experts up here. One came and spent 2 hours, crawled all over the place. He was delighted and took pictures and wrote notes and so forth. So the best guess is they put this together on the ground, piece by piece, and then they put it on top of the walls of the meeting house, and then by the use of block and tackle and probably oxen, they pulled it up so it was standing like this. I mean, the engineering requirements, you probably had to have 50 farmers here to help. I'm only guessing, but you can see the size of this. And so they would put this down, and then they would put this on top, and this is known as King's Truss. The formulation of the truss on top of this is known as the Queen's Truss, and it's somewhat smaller. Okay. All right. Once they got this up, they put this iron. Now this area was known for its ironworks, and they got this iron and they reinforced the wood by putting in the iron. These are stapled into here, pounded in, and this of course is put through to hold it in place. This was a process that was invented in England, and it was illegal to take that process out of England. And somebody came over from England, we don't know who, possibly one of the Quakers, but somebody came over and knew the process and applied that process to the building of this meeting house. And of course, John Cooper was the architect, so he might have had something to do with it. Now, when they cut this piece of wood that had to go into this, they marked it by putting in three marks. And over here you have 4 marks. And it starts over there and it moves in this direction. And so this is 4, 3, 2, 1, and so forth over in that direction. And so you see the marks all throughout of the original axemen who wanted to make this to fit. They wanted to make it to be what it needed to be to fit into this design. And it is absolutely staggering, the height of it and the weight of it and how they ever put it all together with only animal and human strength to do it. No machinery. Now, as I said, on top originally were cedar shakes that were shingles. And then after that came the slate, and then after that came what is there now. That's plywood. And these are the original pieces of wood to hold up the roof that run across and run through these pieces of wood and attach to them. And so that's all original. Now they look like they've been